And we are live from day 2 of the 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships. So today's featured match is Ontario A versus Manitoba A in the men's pairs. We have Dave Anderson and Jeff Harding. And we have Manitoba. We have Gerald Chuckrick and Randy Kenning from Manitoba.
So yes, commentating today will be myself, Laura Seed from Ontario. A little bit of experience at the Nationals and International, so hopefully we'll be able to do some good commentating on the game. I got my partner here, Ozzy from BC.
Yep, it's Ozzy Chambers, proud member of Bulls BC, and happy to broadcast the game today for you guys.
So I have to put in a bit of a conflict of interest for the moment. David Anderson is my husband. So I will try to be impartial and talk about the game from both sides. But I think it's pretty neat that I get to volunteer to commentate and I get to watch his game, him and Jeff Harding. So we'll have lots of fun today. So the guys are just starting now, their first end. So this is day 2, the 4th game that they're playing out of 9, out of a round robin. The Ontario team, their standings right now are 1 and 2, and Manitoba is 0 and 3. So I think both teams will want to start strong today and carry it forward the next 2 games, which will be important for them.
These 2023 Lawn Bowling Championships are being held at the Wanafuka Lawn Bowling Club in Victoria, BC. These 2023 Lawn Bowling Championships cannot happen without our sponsors, Government of Canada, Kirkry, and Northers, the award store for your continued support of lawn bowling in Canada.
And for those who may not know, Wanafuka in Victoria, BC has a 4-green facility. So we are able to play all these pairs and fours games of men and women all at the same time. And a big shout out to the Wanafuka Lawn Bowling Club and all their volunteers for helping put on this prestigious event in Canada. Thank you so much to Wanafuka. So I guess right now it's kind of hard to tell whose bowls are whose, right? They're the same colors just about.
As we look, it looks like Ontario A is holding shot with Manitoba as second and third shot there.
Yeah, so, and we have the, on this rink is all the pairs teams. So we have Ontario B versus Saskatchewan on the next rink. Then we have Nova Scotia against BC, Quebec against Manitoba?
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick, sorry.
They're all yellow.
Yeah. And then the other rink is BC against Alberta. We'll endeavor to give you some updates on scores around the greens. Bit difficult to see the ones at the far end, but we do now have a set of binoculars. So we will try to update everyone on the scores around the rinks. And if you have a particular score that you want to know about, just make sure you put it in the chat and we'll make sure we update you. So it's a nice, beautiful day today. The players shouldn't have any issues whatsoever with the weather. And the greens have been running very, very well. Helps when there's no rain. I don't think that is. Okay. All right, so I guess Ontario got that. So moving on to end number 2. So here the pairs are playing 3-bowl pairs. So they play 18 ends, whereas the 4s are playing 15 ends. And they have 2¼ hours to complete the game. So the time limit has really been actually quite helpful to keep the games rolling and to get everybody pretty much finished at the same time so they can start at the same time. And usually the 2¼ hours is plenty of time to get the game done. They do run out of time a little bit, and if they do, the horn goes and they can only play the last end that they are in. So it's up to the teams to manage their times. So the first couple of ends, the players are just getting to know the green, getting their range, finding out, you know, how wide the rinks are. And usually when you get into end number 3 and 4 and 5, then we start getting interesting stuff going on, we hope, in this feature match. Yeah, so with the bowls and on our feature match here, with the colors being very similar, even though they have separate stickers, yellow for Manitoba and red and white for Ontario, it's just a little bit hard, and that's part of the complaint sometimes when with lawn bowls as a spectator sport, that it's really, really hard to tell whose bowl is shot and what positions they are in. And there's been a lot of introduction of all kinds of colored bowls now that help that situation. But it might be a little bit tricky with this one here. From a distance anyway. Can you tell?
It does. It does look like a tricky angle from where we are standing. So, but I believe Manitoba is possibly up 1. But they both at least got 2 in the head right now.
So obviously I know Jeff Harding and David Anderson very well. So there's a lot of experience on that green between the two of them. A lot of Jeff being from New Zealand, coming here to bowl for many years as well, and David has been to the nationals a lot as well, and international national team. Unfortunately, I'm not that familiar with the Manitoba team.
I'm not either. I
Are
see.
they newbies to the sport?
I am unsure.
To
I think I have seen them around at a couple of
Yeah,
nationals.
yeah. So there's quite a number of people who are new here, and a number of people who have been here numerous times as well. So you have lots of different experience and excitement to being out here this week.
Just a bit narrow on that last bowl for Manitoba. Just one in, one out. Possibly making it a measure now. Dave Anderson with his last bowl there, trying to draw in. Just a bit tight on his line and his front bowl.
So, so I just for knowledge anyway. So Bowls Canada Boulingrin BCB is the governing body responsible for lawn bowls in Canada. BCB's mission is to provide leadership and facilitates inclusive participation and excellence for the sport of bowls in Canada. So for more details on Bowls Canada, Boulingrin, and the sport of lawn bowls, visit www.bowlscanada.com. Also, that is where you can find all the standings, the schedules, results of the whole tournament. Everything is up to date as of this morning.
Yes. With you saying all of that, Manitoba scored a 1, and now we got a tie game after 2. With John asking about the green speed, it looks like it's about the same speed we had about yesterday, so probably just pushing the 11 second mark, but
it tends to vary though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's variable across all the 4 greens, and it also depends on some of the greener patches as opposed to the drier patches. So on the ends, it can go as fast as 14 seconds, I was told, and it can be as slow as 11, I guess.
11, 10,
so it's
yeah.
very challenging to be able to deliver the bowls consistently across the whole green.
Yeah. Yeah, the green did get rolled this morning, so it could be possibly a fast start and fast throughout the day. Manitoba with their second bowl, just adding a little weight. Great bowl by Jeff there, cutting Manitoba down to just 1 there.
Is it? So also too, I think this angle that we're looking at it is better almost than the other direction we were going in. I guess yesterday, they, as I was saying, the fours, especially the men fours, they all like to line up in the head, so you can't see the bowls. So there was some complaint about that yesterday. But if we do this again with the fours, we're going to make them stand in specific spots so we can see. But this angle, I don't think there should be a problem. Let us know if there is.
Great last bowl by Jeff there. Just one in, one out. Possibly, maybe making it a measure on that first shot. But I believe Manitoba still holds. Those who are wondering about a little bit of the Canadian national team update, they will be shortly competing at the 23 World Bowls Championship starting from August 29th to September 10th in the Gold Coast of Australia. Team Canada looks to compete against the best bowlers in the world and try and capture the gold medal. Last year's Canadian women's singles winner, Jordan Koss, will be among those competing in Australia. Both Jordan and repeat singles championship Pat Bird will also be at the 23 Champa Champs, which follow the World Bowls Championships in the Gold Coast. Next year, Pat will be joined by Clara Day, who won this year's competition.
Almost.
Dave Anderson with the
There you
excellent
go.
bowl there. Manitoba is down one in the head, so they look to just push the bowl out.
Yeah, and this rink looks like you could, it looks pretty even all the way through in terms of grass, green and brown and stuff. So the speed must be pretty consistent, I would bet, throughout the whole thing. So we should see some good consistent bowling. Already this head's not too bad.
I would
Nice
say
and
so.
tight.
It looks a bit better than the first match of yesterday with the one wonky side and
Yeah,
the straight side. So
yeah.
it's a very playable green from what we see up here, but the players could differ
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
depending
yeah.
on their bowls. So
And that's just it, you know, the different types of bowls that there are. There's some that run pretty wide, they have a very wide bias. Others run pretty straight. And sometimes the green that you happen to be on just does not work from your bowls, for your bowls. Of course, it has nothing to do with the player delivering the bowl. It has everything to do with the bowl.
exactly. Yeah.
So we got a nice back bowl there, maybe on purpose, I'm not sure. With this sport here, if you throw a drive and you kill the jack, it gets put on the respot, which is 6 feet from the ditch. So if that were to occur, Manitoba would be scoring right now, and maybe even more than one. I don't know who's the next furthest back. But that's also a very important part of the strategy in the game, is to make sure you've got those back bowls to cover for any drives and kills, which happens quite a bit. It's part of the game.
Ontario's holding shot, looking to draw a second one in with the last bowl of the third end coming in. It's a bit wide and a bit light. So Ontario holds shot.
But I suspect he probably didn't want to come in too tight.
Too tough.
So one of the things that I have learned from David Anderson and the Steve McCarahans of the world is, even though you are throwing your last bowl, learn something from your last bowl, even though you know if you go too close to the head, you might give the shot away. So you make sure you're wide or short, but learn something from that last bowl Always learn something. Other thing about this sport, and for those curlers out there who may be watching, the game is a little bit more challenging in some respects, as you can always change the length of the green or the throw. So, for example, you know, the mat can move up, and you can throw the little white ball a little shorter, the jack a little shorter. So every end, the length of travel is different. And it also can be different within the same end. If someone happens to come along and chip the jack into a different position, then you need to readjust again what those lines are and your weights. So a little bit different that way from curling, where the center, the hack, and the center is always exactly in the same spot. So there's a lot of adjusting that needs to be made during your whole game of bowling, including the weather. The weather tends to, if you start as the day goes, the green gets a little drier, or if there's rain or wind, all of those will play a factor in the path of your bowl, which again does not occur in curling. It's indoors. So now good, good bowl bat there by Jeff on the back ditch board. We always like those.
As Jeff delivers his last bowl, trying to reach the tee or the 2-meter mark. But just a bit heavy and looks like it's going to fall into the ditch.
Nope.
So Manitoba will try and adjust their line and draw a second shot into the head. Looks like a very tricky patch when you get past the hog line there.
Yes, you lead right into that. The singles, watch the singles a couple of days ago. And if you go 3 feet past the the 6-meter mark, if you just go past that, it's all downhill. So again, that's part of the strategy. Is where you put that jack. Makes it a little bit difficult if it's 6 feet from the ditch. But is that Manitoba that put one right pretty close beside it? That's a great bowl.
Yes, so Dave Anderson's looking to cut down Manitoba to 1 or possibly drawing shot. So Manitoba holds 2 as the Ontario skip delivers his first bowl.
Yeah, hopefully it'd be a little positive. You could get the bowl, you could get the jack, you could draw the bowl. A little bit short.
Possibly a measure now, but not a bad bowl by Dave's. So Ontario indicated that they're down 1 in the head, so Dave just looks to add a couple feet to either rest or draw a clean shot. He does look like he has a bit more weight on this one, so he could be possibly just trying to sneak by his front one to, just a bit short. So the featured match, it's 2-1 for Ontario A as Manitoba delivers their second last bowl then.
So numbers
Manitoba knocking up Ontario's front bowl. Possibly Manitoba is still up one. Or, yep, Manitoba is still up one.
Yeah, so Jeff's just indicating that they got position, and there's one bull in the head. So I think we're going to come with some positive weight here. This will not be short. He wants to get the bull or the jack. Can we close it? Oh, just missed.
Just a hard split.
He had a couple of options there. Yeah, so Manitoba's got to be careful. You're certainly going to try to draw, but if you're just a little overweight with the draw, the jack will go to Ontario.
So Manitoba's playing this.
Forehand.
You could say the safe side, but
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Ontario does surround the whole jack, so.
Yeah.
But he does look like he has a good line to possibly draw at least one in.
There may be one in, one out.
One in, one out. So, yeah.
Okay, good.
So, one for Manitoba. We're back at 2-2 after 4.
Yeah, so if we just look at the standings a little bit, Nova Scotia is for the pairs, men's pairs are 3-0, and Quebec is 2-1, and BC are there's a lot of teams that are in 2-1, so it's still really early to tell. It's a long 3 days, and so you start like gangbusters and you're 3-0, but if it's day 2 is the big day to keep it going.
So, it's short jack. We'll adjust the camera if it's needed, but we're looking for the umpire to measure. It's just in front of our camera angle that you guys like, so.
Yeah, so we'll try to take a look at the women's pairs. Right now, Saskatchewan A is 3-0 with a couple BC A and Ontario A at 3-1. I think they're just on the rink beside us, so we can take a look at that.
Looks like very close games here. I believe possibly the biggest spread is 6-1 here, so the ladies have very close games here, so we'll give you a score update in a little bit. So that jack measurement was 21.2, so we'll give you your amazing angle.
Yes, yeah, and that's pretty good because the minimum length that it can be is 21. So it was just long enough for them to continue the game, the end. Ozzy here will adjust the camera angle. And we just want to take a moment to say thanks to Kukri Sports Canada, the official kit supplier of the Bulls Canada national team. Kukri is a leading global sportswear provider dedicated to delivering superior products and exceptional service driven by deep understanding of the athlete's journey from grassroots to performance sport. So big shout out to Kukri.
As well, we would like to thank the Government of Canada for supporting the 2023 Canadian Championships. Their continued effort to support the games of Bulls in Canada is so important for Bulls Canada and the sports itself. So thank you. Is Ontario and Manitoba both through their first Bulls? Managers just draw their second Bull in, so Manitoba is holding shot.
Okay, so first indications, Manitoba may like their short jacks. He just drew the jack perfectly. So we'll probably see some strategy with mat movement throughout the whole game.
But a great reply by Jeff right there.
Mm-hmm.
So Manitoba
Yeah.
still holds, but it's a good bull to work with. So Manitoba's looking to just go between their bull and the Ontario bull to just possibly get a little farther to the jack. So, but you gotta be careful with that great bull by Jeff just thrown. Oh,
Very close.
that was a really good one. So.
Yeah. All right, big discussions about the distances of the bowls and which hand to play. The skip may, of course, direct what shots to play, but if you're standing there on the mat and you're not really feeling it, but there's always different options, different ways to get there, so you can certainly let your skip know that you would rather go one way as opposed to another. And hopefully, well done, Jeff.
Great bull by Jeff there. So I believe Ontario possibly holds at least two, possibly a measure, but two for sure.
Yeah, that's why in bowls it's kind of hard to sit back here and say, oh, he should be playing this or he should be playing that, because it's all dictated on the type of bowl you have, the surface of the green, what's working in this particular game. So lots of strategy involved.
There is a lot when you only got 3 bowls to play with. So.
Yeah. Oh, and love 3-bowl pairs.
Oh.
Oh my God, that's just been a real great addition. Makes the game go much faster. It's
Oh, Manitoba just a little narrow on their up weight, but Manitoba has 3 in the back, so see what Anderson decides to play. Possibly a back bull or possibly a guard, one of the two.
Well, no, see, guards you don't guard right away. I think you want to put in a position bull first, and you save the guards for the almost like the last shot. If the opponent has nothing more than to hit a drive, then you try to put in a guard, because it's very, very difficult to put in a guard.
Yes.
Because you can usually get around just about anything. So that'll be a great bowl.
Great back bowl.
Yeah, the furthest back, I don't know if you wanted to, is that all 3 of those
Yep,
Manitoba?
That's all Manitoba.
So where he's actually standing is probably where to put another bowl there for position. Yeah, and that's why you talk about blocking. That's what curlers would do. They'd be immediately trying to block that, because it's a different type of strategy in curling as opposed to bowling.
Manitoba just threw a narrow bowl that possibly would be on the line. So.
Yeah, so the bowl has to remain within the rinks. If not, they'll have to call an umpire to measure it. I don't know, did they do it with the string or the mirror here?
They would, depends on the umpire crew, what equipment they use. So mostly I see here is a mirror, but I have seen the string too. So those bowls have to be in the center of the boundary marker to be considered in for those new to the sport. So. We're looking for the definition of the rule, so.
There you go.
We'll see, so.
Perfect bowl here, right? So he just put one smack in the middle there, so even if that jack goes back, Ontario will not lose more than 1 point. And
Manitoba with a little more weight. Looks like
whoa.
They just hit the Ontario one to sit 1, so. There is a chance for 3 for Ontario here if they push it out, so. So with the last bowl just about to get delivered, it's 2-2 Ontario Manitoba for the men's pairs. Playing the last bowl of the 5th end.
Good bowl by Manitoba. Very good. All it takes is one bowl.
Exactly.
In the right spot.
So that will be 1 to Manitoba. So Manitoba grabbed their first lead of the match. So it's 3-2 for Manitoba against Ontario A. So a couple score updates. It's Ontario B versus Saskatchewan B. Sorry, Saskatchewan A. So it's 9-3 for Ontario B over Saskatchewan after 6. And Nova Scotia versus BC A is 7-5 for Nova Scotia after 5. And then the Quebec-New Brunswick game, it's 10-0 for Quebec after 5. And for the last men's pairs game, it's BC-B versus Alberta B, and it's 6-1 BC-B after 5. Seems like it's a bit slower coming this way, so the players look to make their adjustment from the end earlier, so. But seems like both teams can find the center line on both ways, so should be a fairly good close match on this one, so.
So in the, just looking at some of the standings, can we see what the score is for, so Nova Scotia were women's fours were the winners last year. So they're looking to repeat. That's a team with the two sisters, Jackie Foster and, and Tammy Foster Vinette. They won last year with their mother, Debbie. So this year they're playing with two other players. So they're wanting to repeat. So what's the score for them
So
down
it
there?
looks
Can you
like,
see 'em?
so after the 4th end, it's 5-4. I believe it's Ontario A they're playing.
Okay.
So it's 5-4 for Ontario over Nova Scotia.
Okay, so they're wanting to, so Nova Scotia's won 1 and 1, so they won 1, lost 1, and tied 1. So they have a little bit of work to do. They'll probably want to do a really good performance today. From what I can see, they're playing Cindy Higgins, who is from Ontario. She's also been here a few times as pairs and fours team from last year. That's Ontario B.
Yeah, Nova Scotia is playing Ontario B. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Ontario B is 2-1. So they've got they're in good position right now. They got to keep doing well today.
This is a good game.
And how are?
I'll throw the rest of the women's out there. So Saskatchewan A is against Ontario A, and it's 6-2 for Saskatchewan after 4. And we'll go with Manitoba versus BCB, and it's a 3-3 after 4. And Manitoba A, I believe, is against Alberta A, and it's 7-1 after 4 for Manitoba. I'll let you guys know what the last game is between Saskatchewan B and BCA.
And who were the men's fours winners from last year?
Men fours winners was the last featured match. It was Alberta with Nova Scotia the silver and
Okay, so Alberta A, how are they doing over there?
Alberta A. So Alberta's doing.
So
They're up on Ontario B 6-1 after 4, and the Manitoba versus Ontario A is 5-4 for Manitoba's favor. As Alberta B versus Saskatchewan A is 5-2 for Saskatchewan after 4. And the Quebec versus BCB, it looks like BCB is up 4-1 on Quebec.
Right.
And we will give you a men's pairs update the next end here.
Yeah, it kind of makes it nice when you have binoculars.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that needs to be part of this equipment.
It should be.
All right, what's going on here now? We gotta pay attention to this game.
So
oh, nice.
that last men's pair or men's fours is, yes, it is 4-1 for BCB over Quebec. So as the last Manitoba Bowl comes down, it looks like Manitoba holds shot with a great last bowl by.
That's a lot of weight.
So it possibly
Play
could
two?
be a measure now.
Yeah, or
One in a measure, possibly. Yeah, so Ontario indicated that they're down one. So we just wonder which one is shot. So
yeah.
some great bowls by both teams so far. So Anderson possibly looks for a little trail here for a 2. Or possibly just rest on the shot bowl. Doesn't look far off, so.
Oh, well bowled.
Great bowl by Dave Anderson there. So 1 to Ontario. So Ontario got the tie. So it's 3-3 after 6 here.
And so this game probably means a little bit more, or this day probably means a little bit more to Ontario because it's Jeff Harding's birthday today. I don't know. I'm not going to say how many years young he is, but we wish him a happy birthday. And maybe partying later, but I doubt it.
Yep. Happy birthday, Jeff, and one more year of bowling experience. So.
Exactly. And that just leads into this game. You can play this game for a long, long time. It is a sport of all ages, all inclusive. You can play with your family, your grandchildren. You can play till you're 90, keeps you moving. Great sport, all around sport. So yeah, also as we just mentioned a little bit earlier, there was the singles that were here before the pairs and the fours. So again, it's a long week, certainly for Juan de Fuca and all their volunteers. So they started with the singles. It was a clean sweep almost by the Alberta men and women. They had the women finished first, second, and third, and the men finished first and third with the lonely Ontario team, Dave Defoe, winning the silver. And they, as Ozzy said, the winners of the singles get to go to the Champion of Champions. Claire Day was the winner. Claire Day's been here at the Nationals many, many times, has won as a team player in fours and triples, if I understand. but this is her first win as a singles player. So we wish Claire a lot of success. And Pat Bird is no stranger to winning some of these games. He's won the singles last year, and he's won again this year. So he will be off 2 years in a row to the Champion of Champions in Australia. So good luck to both of those players.
Give you the head update. I believe Ontario is holding 2 here. So, yep, a clean cut 2 now instead of 1 on a measure, I was going to say. So,
A little tighter this time from the leads than the last end. So it's interesting, though. All the colors, the similar colors, are the leads, and the black bowls are the skips. So that helps a little bit. A little short.
So those just tuning in, this is the 2023 Canadian Championships at the Wanafika Lawn Bowling Club. I'm Ozzy Chambers alongside Laura.
Laura Seed from Ontario. Nothing interesting. Nice adjustment. Well, no, I guess he would have liked to go a little bit longer than that. Yeah, I was just about to say, he's saying it's hard to get in. Well, it is a short bowl, but it is in the way for Manitoba. May have to go on to... Well, you should be able to draw the backhand to the bowl just at the back. Oh, he's got a bit of weight. Nope. Oh, close. Had the right idea. Now the skips are coming down. Take a look. They can't be doing this too much, though, because they've got a time limit. So they've got to pick their times as to when they want to come and look at the head. So I think David might be looking, well, might be looking to put position at the back, as where Jeff is indicating. But I'm just wondering if there's a way in to catch the jack to take it to the back with all those bowls in front. But you just don't want to take the chance because strange things happen in bowls. So they probably just for insurance put one at the back.
Play the same way, or sorry, same side. So great back bowl by there. Putting it in the middle of the 4 Manitoba bowls there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. There's the other 2 in front. Yeah. So you had to make a choice whether you wanted to be in the middle of the pack or further back, right, for the respot rule.
Yeah. So Ontario holds 2 as Manitoba is about to deliver their last bowl of the 7th end.
Yeah, so on the world, so unfortunately there's a couple of really strong players that are not here right now because they are at the World Championships in Australia. So the team for the men would be Ryan Bester, John Bazier, Cameron LaFrenz, Rob Law, and Owen Curry. And any one of those would have potentially have been here, but because it's at the same time, they could not enter the playdowns for the Canadian Championships. And the women are Kelly McCarahan, Jordan Cause, Emma Boyd, Bailey Van Steen, and Joanna Cooper. So we do miss you here. You offer lots of great bowling, but you're out in Australia, and we hope that you do Canada proud, and we wish you all the best in your efforts at the World Bowls. Thanks. Oh, I ended up with one down. Missed the last one.
Yep, so he promoted his front bowl, coming through the head with his shooter, so he...
Good things happen when you come down with some weight. You have to pick your times to do that, though. You know, it's weight when you're sitting shot and stuff is not a good idea, but when you so these guys are playing 9 games for a round robin of 9 games. They play each other throughout the whole week. And then for the medal games, which will occur on Saturday, so the 2 top teams that are finished with the highest ranking will go into the silver and gold medal match. And the 3rd and 4th rankings will go into the bronze challenge match. My understanding is the bronze medals will be Saturday morning, and then they will have the gold medal matches in the afternoon of all the disciplines.
Yes.
So tune in on Saturday. I'm sure we will be live streaming those games as well. Okay, good start, Jeff. Not bad. So it's pretty close game here.
This is the 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championship. Happens. We would like to thank all the local sponsors and corporate sponsors Bowls Canada have, and all the umpires and volunteers that make this event happen. Also, Bowls Canada would like to thank Northers Awards Store for more than 50 years of support, and they're the supplier of awards and recognition products to sports organizations, schools, professional organizations, corporate markets, and service clubs. Northers has the capacity to serve everything from the national championship to local leagues with custom medals, awards, signage, and promotional products. Thank you, Northers, for supporting the 2023 championships.
Yeah, so Manitoba just had a toucher, but it pushed the jack closer to the Ontario team. But it still becomes a live bowl in case it's needed. No, good shot.
Great bowl by Jeff there.
No, I just gave it away.
Oh, it's a little...
Yeah, a little.
One too many turns on the jack there. So.
Yeah. And that's what happens when the greens are a little speedy. Looks like they're pretty good speed. Any little movement on the jack can go a long way.
Yeah. So as the Manitoba skips come down, we got some men's pairs update as it's 11-5 for Ontario versus Saskatchewan B, the Ontario B team against Saskatchewan A, sorry. And Nova Scotia is against BCA, and it's 8-7. As Quebec plays New Brunswick, it's 12-1 for Quebec. And BC B and Alberta B are at a 6-6 tie right now. All of them are on this 9th or the 8th end, so there's a lot of play left for all the teams out there.
Okay. Uh-oh. Ozzy's getting the binoculars out, so he's probably going to check some scores
Yeah, I
on some
will
of the other greens.
try and give you guys the ladies pairs, I believe, on the B green. So we got Saskatchewan A against Nova Scotia, and it's 7-5 for Saskatchewan. And Alberta A versus BC A, it's believe 6-5 for Alberta A. And Manitoba is beating Ontario B 10-4 after 8. And the Ontario A team is against Alberta B, and it's 9-7 for Ontario A. Some great games here in Juan de Fuca, so if you're in the area, come down and check out the amazing sport of lawn bowls and the Canadian Championships, where you see the top bowlers across Canada to get their chance to showcase their skill at the national level. Back to the feature game. Dave Anderson with his second last bowl. I believe Manitoba from our angle is in shots still.
Yes, I think so. Yep.
Great position by both teams. Just looking like Dave is a little short.
Yeah, just a bit.
So Manitoba holds shot with their last bowl about to come down. So just double checking how to not give it up to Ontario. So far we have seen a game of ones. We will see if Manitoba tries to grab the first two of the match so far.
Yeah, it's been very, very consistent play from both the teams, keeping the score close.
These are the games you got to be dialed in every bowl that matters. So.
Yep.
So Manitoba just a little short on their last bowl. Not sure if that was planned, but it's a good bowl to possibly not go after the Manitoba bowl. So
Not sure if it was planned because it looks like the shot bowl is pretty well protected there.
yeah,
But maybe he just didn't want to. He couldn't come in anyway, probably properly either side, because he would push them in. So he just opted to add a shorter bowl.
yeah. If I believe it's Ontario all around the jack, so
Yep.
I mean Anderson might be looking to possibly just try and give the Manitoba Bulls at least a couple rolls to possibly sit at least one or two, or
there might
possibly four.
Yeah,
So
there might be a bit of a plant on that side, right? Hit his bowl onto the Manitoba bowl.
to push it out,
Yeah.
would be a great shot. But he looks like he's thrown his backhand, so looks like he's just looking to promote his bowl a little bit.
He's looking at it. He's
he
looking
doesn't
at
look
it.
far.
Oh.
Oh, just tight. Great effort. So Manitoba has shot, so that will make it 5-3 for Manitoba A.
Yeah.
After 8.
Should be pretty close. Probably the first team to score multiples might get this at the
Yeah.
rate this is going.
So the biggest lead we have seen in this game. So we'll see if Manitoba can add to it or Ontario can possibly grab the first multiple of this match. So on the Rinkeby side, we got Ontario B against Saskatchewan A. Ontario B is up 15-5 after 10. And Nova Scotia is against BC, and Nova Scotia has a 9-7 lead after 8. Quebec is still up on New Brunswick 16-1 after 9.
Yeah, they're having a brilliant tournament so far. Let's hope it keeps going for them.
Yes.
I don't think they've lost a game yet in Quebec, and so.
Yep, them and Nova Scotia are two teams at the top of the thing. So as BC-B and Alberta B are 8-3 for BC. Some great bowls by the lead here, so Manitoba holds one.
Yeah, and it's also nice to see a number of youngins here. Although they're not that young anymore, like the Patulis. Jonathan Patuli's been coming here for many, many years. He was just a kid when he started.
Yes.
Now he's married and got children. I think. Does John have one? I know Mike does.
I know Mike does.
Mike does, maybe not John. And who else? Well, Jordan Cause is in here. She started very young as well. Loved the sport, took it up, and now she's at World Bowls.
Yeah, we got the Watsons and the Campbells and the men's fours, as well as John Seitman and Eric Gallipo from Ontario. So we got at least 5 in the men's pair, or fours, sorry.
Yeah, and Eric's playing with his dad. Lots of people are playing with their mothers. Shirley Fitzpatrick with Clarice, her mom. Sisters, Tammy and Jackie. It's quite a family affair. I think once you get involved in bowls, it's all encompassing, and you travel everywhere and meet lots of people, and just great sport of all ages.
Pretty good day so far. No, not so much wind so far, so it is kind of a hot day out. So
it's finally nice and hot. I've been cold all week. Yeah. So the conditions right here today are just about as best as you could possibly get for bowls. And I don't think they're expecting any rain this week either.
I don't think so, but
you got to be able to play this game in the rain. I don't like playing in the rain. I pull out my little zeros when I play in the rain. A smaller bowl allows me to grip it a little bit better. Everybody has different strategies of dealing with the rain. Some people, it doesn't bother them at all.
Yes. So just a head update, we got Manitoba holding 2 shots after the leads delivered their bowls, so Manitoba looking like they're drawing a back bowl, so so they got 2 in the back now.
So I come down, I don't know, is he going to come out with some positive weight?
So switch of hands here. He's looking to possibly trail to his back bowl that he delivered on his forehand.
Or come through the middle.
So looking to thread the needle between the Manitoba one. So
Ugh.
he just straight on that side. So
Got nothing.
Ontario has a back bowl now. So.
Well, hopefully he'll learn from that throw and then he can adjust and try it again. Okay, so Manitoba might not be going anywhere near the head to give anything for Ontario to bounce off of or wick off or...
Yes, we will see if Dave can possibly get shot or cut down Manitoba. Could see our first multiple this game, so.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah, 3-5 after 8.
3-5, so Manitoba looks to
1-1-1.
grab a 4-point lead. Or we'll see if Ontario can claw back with one.
So it's a really crucial probably point here. I know the score is not very far apart, but you don't want to be losing control of the end of the game. So probably pretty critical for both teams, I think. Not insurmountable, but an important point.
Yeah, it's hard to grab a 4 back if you miss this one with a six bowl pairs. So
Yeah.
you gotta.
Well, you'll get them back. You got lots of time.
You got a lot of time, but
this team's been 1-1-1-1-1, so you don't want to.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't look that far off.
Yeah.
Just a bit wide. So.
Not gonna like that.
Looks like 2 for Manitoba, so that will be a 7-3 game after 9 for Manitoba against Ontario A. Sorry, possibly 3 on that one, so.
Yeah, they got 3. So they're not taking it short like they did before, so maybe that bowl, that jack that they threw was a little shorter than they intended.
Yes.
Does seem to be playing a 3/4 length here.
Really looks like Manitoba loves the straight side coming down here, so see if Jeff can respond to Manitoba's bull. Doesn't look like a bad bull by Jeff here, so. Great bull by Jeff here.
Good start. Yeah.
Great jack high bull, so. Joe's just tuning in. This is the 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships at the Wanufuka Lawn Bowling Club in Victoria, BC. This feature match is the men's pairs against Ontario A versus Manitoba. We have the pairs and the fours for both the men and women this week. And the singles were last week where we saw Pat Bird and Clara Day come on top. This is Ozzy Chambers alongside.
Laura Seed from Ontario. He just looks at me as if he doesn't remember my name, but I'm sure he does.
I do. I do remember her name. Yeah. Some great games here today, so we're looking to see if Ontario can claw their way back into a closer game here, as they do hold shot in the head right now.
Yeah, it's an important big game for both the teams, so that's why I think they're really concentrating really hard and keeping it tight.
Exactly. Every bowl matters in this type
Yes.
of game, so.
Come on. All right, there you go.
Could almost say this is kind of judgment day with all the teams being a little closer, but we're not there yet.
Not
but,
yet,
you
but
know,
for some it's going to be.
it's getting the start of it. So.
Yeah, yeah.
As we see,
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of
I think what is the formula? Maybe if you've lost 3 games, it's still not impossible, but you often it's not in your destiny anymore. It's in hoping that somebody loses versus somebody else and stuff, and they'll start figuring all that out at the end of today.
Yeah. Today's for sure the day. You got to know who you have beaten and who you have lost to. So you got to kind of see how the results in your favor. So there is a score correction. It was 2 on the last end for Manitoba, so it is a 7-3 game.
Well, there you go.
So just got a comment on the Alberta B game, and yeah, Alberta B is playing BCB in the men's pairs, and it is 9-7 after 10 for BC B. And then Quebec is still up on New Brunswick 17-2 after 11. And Nova Scotia is again BCA, and it's 10-8 for Nova Scotia. The Ontario B team is leading Saskatchewan 16-6 after 12. And today's featured game is Manitoba A against Ontario A. Manitoba holds a 7-3 lead after 9. Head update, I believe Ontario is still holding shot, possibly a measure for 2. So as Anderson just went by the jack.
Not sure he wanted to go through that fast.
That fast. But he could have possibly moved it to himself.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
some good results. So Manitoba looks to draw. Doesn't look like a bad bowl. Possibly got the shot bowl here, which he did. So possibly won Manitoba. Possibly with that measure, though. Doesn't seem like a bad response by Anderson there. So 1 for sure by Manitoba. Yep. Manitoba indicated that they're up 1, so as Manitoba throws their last bowl. Just a bit late on this one. Looking for some positive weight here, Jacker Bowl. Ontario does have the back 3 bowls, so this could be a crucial bowl of the match.
Yep.
Doesn't seem that far off, so
Oh,
he did hit shot bowl, so possibly.
Yeah, so he had some options there with some weight if he catches the bowl or the jack.
It's one of the many shot selections you have in the game of long bowls, so
Yeah.
possibly is a measure now, but Ontario could possibly in a measurement for 2. So I believe they are going to tape it, so. Give you some more score updates as they're doing a measurement. We got the ladies fours, I believe. Yeah, ladies fours on the C green, or D green, sorry. We got Ontario A against Saskatchewan A, and it's 8-6 for Ontario after 8. We got Ontario against Nova Scotia, and it is 8-8 after 8, I believe. So, and you have Saskatchewan B against BCA, and it's 9-7 after 8 for BC.
All close games.
So it does look like Ontario did get a 1 there. Or possibly more, actually.
No, just one.
It is 7-6 after 10 for Manitoba, so it is a 1-point game now.
Yeah, very close, very tight, and those are the kind of games you like to watch. Except in my case, I think I'd like a better lead, but but close games are really, really fun. And it's always nice, you know, every once in a while when you're playing these championships, it's a lot of concentration and a lot of work, games a day for 3 days. And every once in a while, you do appreciate a game that you can be way ahead and you can just relax a little bit and takes the pressure off. It's always useful, but then again, the close games are definitely exciting. As exciting as it can be. Yeah, so we're a little bit longer, I think, closer to the ditch anyway.
As Ontario
Oh,
got the
there's-
jack back, it looked like they have some pretty good bowls, as Jeff was a bit narrow, but jack high still. Manitoba was a bit light, but still has shot bowl.
So you have to be careful when you want to change the length because you don't, you know, if you feel your opponent's getting too comfy and doing well, but then if you change the length, it can also throw you off. So you have to think about it. And having played with David as many times as I have, he is definitely a firm believer of the jack placement being a huge part of the game. Like, it's a better, for him, it's do or die sometimes with that jack placement. Whereas others, I think certainly they try, but it's not as critical for them.
Some pretty good pace by the players today, so we're just after the hour mark, so they have another hour, I believe, to get their eight more ends in the featured game.
Yeah, for the pairs, yeah.
It is a very close game, so Ontario looks to possibly grab the lead or tie it up here as Manitoba looks to extend theirs. As Manitoba holds one in the head, so.
Yeah, there was some comments yesterday because if the games are timed, you know, you need to move quickly in placement of your mat and let the opponent who lost the point take care of the bowls. Just little things like this that just speed up the game a little bit. But when you're playing, you're very much involved in it. You're not really thinking about those things. You're just involved in the game.
Yes. So Manitoba holds one as the skips go down to deliver their first bowls for their respected teams.
Yeah, interestingly enough, just as a little story, I guess, the Quebec team that's playing the New Brunswick team, Wayne Hassick from New Brunswick was a Quebec player for many, many, many years, and he moved to New Brunswick in 2020, of the year of COVID, And the other player from New Brunswick is actually used to play in Ontario, and then he moved to New Brunswick. So probably a bit bittersweet for Wayne to be playing against his Quebec opponents.
Yes. Looks like a great bowl by Dave here. Looks like he just chipped the jack. Possibly a measure now.
And this is a game, too, that you make great friends and stuff, and then you have to play them in a very important game. But you have to put the friendship aside or the family aside, and you play your game. We all know each other well.
So Ontario holds at least one in the head right now.
Oh, is that what Jeff indicated, that they had one?
Manitoba and the kid, they were down one. So Ontario, with their last bowl, looks to possibly draw a second one in there. Looks like wide open on both hands if he decides to play either.
The other thing that's been interesting at this park is that they have zip lining here. And it's just on the edge of the park of the lawn bowling, and I haven't heard any screaming, so I don't know. Is there zip lining today? Haven't heard them. Adds for a little bit of entertainment. You hear them screaming all the way down the line.
Yep, that last bowl was a great bowl by Dave, just drawing a jack high bowl to possibly giving Ontario at least two in the head. So.
Oh,
Manitoba just with the lucky wick. Ooh, possibly maybe extending it to 3 for Ontario. So we'll see, but possibly 2 at least for Ontario here.
That was a close call, though, that he almost picked up that jack.
It would have been great.
That would have been devastating for Ontario.
Yes.
Games have been won on those kind of shots as well.
Yeah. As they're measuring, Ian, I'll give you your Alberta B prediction or score update for Alberta B. So the men's, I believe, is the only Alberta B team that they have. They are up 11 to 10 on Saskatchewan after 9.
So one of the things I'm a little curious, Ozzy, is one of the things I always wonder is how people get involved in lawn bowls. How did you get involved in lawn bowls?
My mom was a senior care worker, and one of her clients invited me out, and I just loved the sport ever since. So
there you go. How old were you when you started?
I think I was 12 or 11.
Very good.
So I've been doing it for at least 10 years. So
yeah, and just by chance like that, right? They invite you over and you like it. That's great.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get asked how I got started too, and I started late in life, but it was when I met David, and I figured, well, if I don't start to play this game, I'm never going to see him. And I turned out to be able to play the game a little bit. So, yeah, so here we are after 20 years of bowling. David's been bowling since he's 12. Jeff's been bowling, I don't know for how long. So many of these people have been bowling since they were kids. But it's the trick. The trick is to keep you youngins through keep it going, right? Because there's so many other diversions in life as you go along.
Yes, there's a lot of distractions, they say. So
Well, school, family, girls, stuff like that, babies.
yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people too that were gone for a while and come back again.
Well,
It's you have a
there's-
love of the sport and you do what you need to do as an adult and a parent or whatever the circumstances may be, and then you come back to it.
yes, that's very good facts. We can all, you can take some time off from bowls and still have it, and come
Yeah.
back to the sport when you feel ready. So,
That's right. That's right.
but if you think it's going to be a long-term thing, it doesn't have to be. But
Mm.
just try lawn bowls, and if you like it, just continue if you love it. So, it's a great social game, great competitive game. So,
Yeah, you can take it at any level. There's it just gets people outdoors, socializing. I mean, that was the big thing with COVID, getting a lot of us promoted the sport, come back to the sport because it's inclusive, socializing, and also mingling with. It's great to have younger people mingle with older people, and you learn things from each other, and I think just all around you get be a better person for being, and that could be said probably for many sports.
yes.
It's like it's good life's experiences. They're still measuring over here. I think they took out 2 or 3 bowls, didn't they already?
I am unsure what the score is right now, but I
think
believe
they
they
did
did take at least two.
Yeah.
Possibly. I think this is the measurement for 3. But it could be a 4th one because there was one in front for Ontario, so. Looks like a very close one here, so.
Yeah, so this is another thing. They're always looking for umpires for these events. There's a bit of a course you got to take and an exam you got to pass, and I don't know all the details, but you can also go to Bowls Canada and find out of all the details to become an umpire, to become a coach if you are not feeling that you could play it. There's lots of different things you can do. Okay. So I think that was
Having some
3.
score operating errors, so we'll see if they get the scoreboard updated properly. But I believe it was 3 for Ontario instead of Manitoba.
Oh, he's putting
so,
it to the wrong one.
so I believe that
Let's
would
see.
be,
Let's see how long they figure it out.
what was it, 7? So it would be 9
Nine
to 7 for
Yeah.
Ontario.
Yeah, let's see how long it takes.
So I believe we got some good camera angles for you for the next end. So
Oh, you took it way long, too. Almost T to T. Almost. But this is tricky down this way. You get past the jack and your bowl's going to end up in the ditch. So you want to
pretty
be...
wow.
Yeah.
Thought that was going to be a short bowl, but
It's
a couple
not,
feet off of it. So
It's not bad because now they're being forced. Manitoba's being forced to be closer to the jack, and as soon as you do that, you can end up past it and in the ditch. Yeah, wrong score. Well done, Jeffy. I was wondering how long it would take it.
it was good. It was a good minute. So
Let's see. Yeah, I think if, like the singles, it was obvious that anything past the jack there would go down into the ditch. It could be different, though, from day to day.
it could be. I heard that the greenskeepers are doing a great job making these 4 greens playable for all competitors out here. So
and that's a lot of work. They're out here, like the game started at 9. They're probably out here like
at
6
4 o'clock.
4?
So, yeah,
Oh,
4.
okay, I would said 6, but
Well,
4 o'clock. Wow.
They work around the clock.
They work around the clock, exactly.
So.
We leave and they do more stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They do the unseen stuff, so
Yeah.
so we can play the great sport. So.
Yeah. So thanks to the greenskeepers here. Yes. And I'm sure with 4 greens, you'd have more than one greenskeeper, so let's see.
Looks like a great bowl by Manitoba, so
I
they
guess
hold shot.
so they must be just far enough out that it doesn't fall in. I think you'd have to be closer to the 6-foot mark. Yeah.
Looks a bit wide, but looks like a great back bowl, possibly. To the side,
There, okay.
close to the head though, so workable. So as Manitoba's lead throws his last bowl to draw a second in. Looks pretty good out of the hand, but see what the green does with it. So, which is a bit narrow on this one, but great weight again. So as the skips come down for the 12th end, Ontario holds a 9-7 lead. Some more score updates. Ontario is still up on Saskatchewan, 18-8. On the 16th end, they were just delivering the jack. And Nova Scotia is up 13-11 after 13. As well, Quebec is still up on New Brunswick 20-4 after 15. And BC in a close battle with Alberta B, the B teams for BC and Alberta, it's 11-10 after 13. What a great bowl by Dave Anderson there. So just one.
I was looking somewhere else. I missed it.
Just one. Just great toucher there to fall jack high.
Good.
So we'll probably see Manitoba come on the forehand, possibly take the bull or the jack. Manitoba would love to take the bull out here to set possibly 3 so they can grab the lead.
I'll let you do the updates with the scores with the binocular. I can see it pretty good. It makes a huge difference that we can see that far.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it's great for the sea green,
yeah,
which is the far left one from the camera. So we'll see. It's a lot more people in front of scoreboards.
Oh, nice bowl. Nice bowl.
Great bowl by Manitoba.
Nice bowl.
And so Manitoba sets at least 3 here with Anderson's toucher just on the lip of the ditch. So.
We haven't seen any huge drives yet today with these guys. Again, it's a factor that the scores are close.
Our green, yeah, and the greens are running pretty good, so don't need to throw a lot of up weight.
No, no. Some of the teams are playing pretty fast. I think our feature games, they're going to have to start moving it along. 11 ends still. They're only 11 ends with 7 ends to play.
Looks like we got about 45 minutes left, possibly. We were 3 minutes before 9 here, so.
You know, of course, if the point spread is a lot bigger, the game does tend to go much faster. When you're close, you're trying to analyze every end, every game, every throw. Okay, so I imagine.
So as Anderson's throwing his last ball down 3 in the head, looks to cut him down, possibly trying to get to the black or the dark blue one in the back from Manitoba to get shot. He's throwing his backhand and it's coming down pretty good if he's inside his. And it just
Oh,
went
see,
downhill.
there you go.
And it's
And
on the
it's
lip. So Manitoba's looking to draw a fourth one.
Yeah, there's no stopping it when it's past there. It's lucky it stayed on the green.
It's a very tricky green now with the jack moving to the dry part, so you almost got to be in front of the jack for this one. So
Yeah, he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go in. He doesn't need to be that precise. So
No.
he just needs to figure out where the fourth bowl is and then beat that.
Exactly.
You don't want to go anywhere near the jack.
So Manitoba's looking to add possibly a second bowl to their lead, so just wide. And it just kept rolling.
Yeah.
So just straight. So that would be 3 for Manitoba, I believe. So
Yeah, that was a lot of weight. If he'd chipped that jack, just
it would have been scary for them. So
yeah, I know you want to get your fourth bowl in there. You want to have another point, but you got to be careful.
Exactly.
Many games have been lost.
Yes, many.
When you're being too greedy.
So it looks like Manitoba's going with a medium jack.
Change the angle a little bit so we can see better.
Yes, I did. And after that, Manitoba made a great first shot, drawing a toucher. Just in front of the jack. So Manitoba has a 10-9 lead after 12. Every game is pretty close in the men's pairs as BC grabbed a handful to get their first lead against Nova Scotia after 14. So it's 15-13 for BCA against Nova Scotia, 18-8 for Ontario B against Saskatchewan after 15. And Quebec is still up on New Brunswick, 20-5 after 16, and BC still holds 11-10 lead. So Manitoba holds 2 in the head. Jeff delivering his second bowl. Greens are looking like they're speeding up a little bit with the sun finally coming out this morning. So
maybe, it's hard to tell.
score update on the BCB versus Alberta B. It's 11-11 after 14.
Yeah, that
Great.
helps.
Yeah, great.
He wasn't going to be short the third time.
It is, yeah. A great little promotion to possibly take out the measurement. So just one for Manitoba.
Yeah, sometimes you look like you're going to get fired, and then you make one good shot, and then you're hired again. It's hard as a lead not to be short. You're trying to be perfect to the jack or a little bit past it, and then you end up being short.
Yes.
That's why I like skipping, because I got things I
Oh.
can hit.
Yes.
Move around. I don't have to be that precise.
Very true. So Manitoba just wicked the Ontario ball, so Manitoba holds at least 2.
You think? Oh, did it push it on the
It
outside?
pushed it to
Yeah.
the other side. It's the
Oh.
closest ball to the camera now. So
Okay.
possibly a measurement for a third one, but all depending on angles. Manitoba does have the back ball here, so Anderson has to be very precise on where his ball lands. So as Manitoba does hold a 10-9 lead after 12.
Has to change the head somehow anyway, for sure.
Exactly.
Even if he
Looks
doesn't
like a
end up
little
with shot.
positive, so it
Okay.
is just sneaking through.
Mm.
Possibly push the measurement in. So at least 2 for Manitoba. And Ben, for your score update, it's 15-5 for Ontario A over Manitoba after 10.
Okay. Gotta change that head somehow.
So great ball by Manitoba there, sending at least a couple.
Yeah. Yeah. Might. Yeah. A little bit of weight, because he can't get shot the way it is. So he needs to make contact in the head to change stuff. Whether he gets shot or not doesn't matter. Just change stuff.
Just looking a bit wide on his own, so. So Manitoba sits a couple as Manitoba's about to throw their last ball with Ontario having the last ball for this end.
I think personally, I would have come with a little bit more weight on that just to change stuff, but it's hard to tell from here what the angles are. And again, what you think should be done up here looks completely different from down there.
Yes, it's all good. We're calling our game up here,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they can call there and show them.
Yeah,
they can show you their skills. So.
Yeah, and they're there and we're here.
Exactly.
Yeah, my sob story is I lost the 4s in Ontario by an extra end, and I lost the pairs by an extra end in Ontario.
Yeah.
So everybody's heard that.
Yeah, it was all good. Yeah, I was for sure in the quarterfinals for pretty much all the ones I entered. So
Good.
just a heartbreaker when BC gets 6 entries in the singles and you lose the quarters. So
Yeah.
it's all good. So
Oof.
great ball by Manitoba to add a cushion.
Oof. Yeah.
So
Okay.
looks like there has to be contact in the head to cut him down. Just got to hit.
Yeah, this is pretty. Sometimes when you're sitting for you figure any contact on any bull, you cut it down. It depends on how far away they are, obviously, from the shot. This looks like something could happen because they're all very close.
Yeah.
Some weight and you'll hit something.
Doesn't look good for Ontario here. Well,
So it's
Manitoba's holding at least 4, I would say. So possibly just trying to make a little contact on one of their 4 bulls in the head to cut them down or sit. Or possibly push the jack somewhere to give Ontario a better angle at a measurement. I believe it's still a forehand shot for Anderson.
Yeah.
Looking a little positive on his weight that he's going to throw. So he is going with a little up weight to get a little contact, which he
so
doesn't really look that much change. So I believe
you don't
it
think
is.
so?
I believe he hit more Manitoba in than Ontario. So depends on. I possibly actually think I was wrong. I actually think it's only 2 for Manitoba. As Manitoba did hit Jeff's bull in, so
good.
it is 2 for Manitoba.
So that's a very, very good outcome. At least that they were probably down 4.
They
Now
were
they're-
4 or 5, yeah. Good, cut at least 2 to 3 out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so this is where I think in shots like that, the women have to practice those up weight shots when you can't draw in, you have to hit. And you just, whether it's women or men, you have to practice those shots. They don't just come naturally on the first time you do it. So it's a good practice drill too to do. And you can put those little, got those little rubber pylon things there that when you hit them, they flip back up again. And you put a jack in the middle, and you put, about 6 inches out on either side. And if you hit the target, that's a good throw.
Yes.
Good practice. It bails you out of trouble.
So as Manitoba throws their first goal, it's 12-9 for Manitoba over Ontario A after 13. For those just tuning in, this is the 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships at the Wanda Fika Lawn Bowling Club. Broadcasting by Ozzy Chambers from BC and Laura
Laura C. from Ontario.
Laura C. from Ontario. We have seen some great bowls today by Manitoba and Ontario in the featured game, so has it been back and forth, honestly?
Yeah.
As Ontario had the lead the last couple ends, as Manitoba just added a couple to their lead that they got back in the 12th. Some great bowls by Manitoba there to start, with one at the jack and one behind.
Oh.
And we got our first zip liner of the day.
I think they just like screaming for screaming. I don't think,
Looks like the
it looks like a lot of
Looks
fun.
like
I think I want to go do it.
yeah, looks like there's a handful up there, so
Yeah.
the next couple minutes you'll hear possibly a couple more, so stay tuned.
Yeah, this facility, there's a lot of stuff going on here. They've got that skateboarding thing on the other side. Oh, here we go again. And they've got the arena and
The hockey rink, the soccer, box lacrosse, the rugby and soccer, baseball diamonds. It's a great rec center, the West Shore Parks and Rec. They do a great job with updating their facility time to time with the new addition of their skate park, like Laura said. So.
And the velodrome.
Oh yeah, the velodrome, I forgot. And
outdoor.
The BMX, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of stuff going on here. And it's a good place to put a lawn bowling club too, so people going around can see what's going on.
Yeah.
See the sport.
Yeah, the Wanda Fika Lawn Bowling Club just celebrated their 25th anniversary in 2018. Their 4 greens were from the legacy from the Commonwealth Games in 1994. They're the only club in BC with 4 greens.
We don't have any in Ontario.
I believe there's only 3 or 4 that have 4 greens in Canada. So.
In Canada, yeah.
So a head update, I believe Manitoba holds at least 1 and possibly a measure on a second.
Nova Scotia. And we have another team there in Nova Scotia against BCA. Steve Bezanson and Ozzy. Those guys have been coming here for years and years and years. And Steve's good entertainment. He's fun. He's a fun guy to watch. He's very animated, has a lot to say about his bowls, whereas others are just quietly doing their job.
Yes. Yes.
We like characters in the game. Needs to be sometimes a little bit more exciting. They're very calm and quiet. And people don't like noise, and a little different when you
He's
go
yeah, he's for sure
overseas.
the little spark in the sport to
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
us entertained.
yeah.
As well, they were the 2022 men's pairs champions
Oh,
last year, so
okay, yeah,
they do
and
look to defend their title with
yeah,
their great start,
yeah,
as they possibly look to come back from the lead that they had earlier in the game.
yeah.
That it is 17 to 13 after last couple bowls of the 16th end. So
Yeah. It's hard to get here, and it's even harder to defend it again. To win
exactly,
it again, right?
it's a long path.
Yeah, long
So,
process. Yeah, and then when people tell you, well, there's always next year,
well,
it's really not what I want to hear. But there is always next year.
yes, there is always.
Because we'll be
actually.
playing this for a long time to come.
Yes. So, some score updates. I believe Quebec won that game. They are the first men's pairs game to finish. So, I believe we have less than 30 minutes left in these games. So,
Yeah,
about 45 minutes. Nope, I was wrong. Actually, so 25 minutes it looks.
25
so
minutes? Woof.
25 minutes. So they got to play
Yeah.
after this end. They got to play 4 more ends in that amount of time. So they for sure under the pace right now. So
Yeah, and I don't. There's nobody wasting time. They're taking their time, but it can go either way. So a lot of times people say, well, if there's a team that's way up, and then they sort of just take their time and they don't care if it runs out. But if the score is close, neither team can afford to do that. You have to play it quickly, and all you need is one team to score big, and then that's it. So.
exactly, yeah. This is one of the strategy games, so
Yeah.
it's for sure not the disrespectful of wasting time.
No,
They're
no,
playing
they got it. Yeah.
they're playing
yeah,
their respectful part of the game.
Yeah.
So
So
as Anderson's coming to the mat with his last bowl, I believe he's looking to grab the shot bowl from Manitoba as they hold at least one in the head. Just looks a bit light, so I believe Manitoba adds one to their lead, possibly a measure on that second one. So
yeah, there's the manager coming over, probably telling David, watch your time, but I'm sure David already knows. Sometimes people don't know, though. You get involved in the game, you're not really thinking about it. So as manager, you sort of just go over and you tap your wrist and you say, look at the time.
So they are measuring for 2 here. I believe Ontario wins the measurements. So it is only one.
You can tell from all the way over here.
I can, yes. Young eyes, so.
Okay, all right. I got my glasses on, so I see better now.
Yes. It's all good. So that will make it a 13-9 after 14, I believe, yes. For Manitoba over Ontario, eh?
Yeah, and as long as the team gets the jack rolling before the horn goes off, they can finish that end.
Yes.
So.
And it looks like pretty much every Forest game will get done as they are playing their last end or second last end.
Yeah, they only play 15.
15, so they all are on 14 or playing the 15th. And I believe the men are on pace too, so there is a couple in the 13th end, so we'll see how the men play out as well as the women are on pace. So there's some good games here today as the last dying ends coming together. More strategy come in, so.
Yeah, there are a number of teams that do run at a time.
Only think there've been a handful so far this tournament, so I mean that's pretty good considering we have at least 24 games I think on at a time. Or sorry, my bad. 20 games.
Eight.
20 games, yeah. 5 on each green, as these are the 18-foot rinks, so they're playing 6 here, so they're playing 1 to 5 on every green. So
All right.
some pretty good bowls here, so Manitoba holds shot for now, as Jeff was just a couple feet short.
Oh, good ball. Toucher. Come on, Jeffy, who takes one bowl. Looking not too bad. Slow down.
Great effort by Jeff there, as it is 1 and a measure for Manitoba. But I do favor the Manitoba bowl from here, so we will see. Manitoba's Skip's first bowl is coming nicely to the back.
I like the way you said that. Coming nicely to the jack. Oh no, going to the back. All right.
So that last bowl is the closest to the 2 meter mark.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Could come in handy.
It could be. As Dave's looking pretty good pace for the jack, and I believe he did grab shot, so Ontario does hold 1 right now.
Yeah, be looking to try to score a couple here for sure. Can't afford to lose any more points.
So Ontario's probably looking for their first, sorry, not first multiple. We have seen multiples now, so.
Yeah. Well, he wants to score at least 2, love to score 3, but Manitoba may not cooperate.
Yes, 2 2s for sure tie up the game for Ontario here, so it would be needed. So Dave was just a little far and narrow on his bowl, so he does look like he's finding the green a little more. So
be interesting what he does here, because there may be.
Looks like contact on the shot bowl there.
Okay. That's a good bowl actually, even though Manitoba's down 1, because if he was, that's another bowl in the head, because it looking like there was only one bowl for Manitoba in the head.
So.
And David's very aware of those situations, and he would have been looking
to capitalize.
Yeah, but now I think he just needs to draw 2.
So just Dave looks to get a little wider. He had great weight on his 2 bowls there. Just looking a little short, but does look like it blocked the path for the Ontario.
Well, that was last bowl.
That was last bowl, so that would be Ontario 1. So it is 13 to 10 after 15 for Manitoba against Ontario A.
Yeah, so they've only got less than maybe a little more than 15 minutes. I think they'd be. Yeah, I don't think they'll make it.
About 18 minutes, I believe, left. So depending on if we were on the hour.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
So we are, the jack did roll into the dead spot, so we will see if
this will
they
be
can keep the
interesting.
bulls on the green. As from bulls that we have seen earlier in the match. They just keep rolling when they get to the jack there. So
The key to this one is to be 2 feet in front of the jack, I think.
yes.
That's not 2 feet. Oh, it's,
He
yeah.
looked a little scared there, so I don't blame him. So
Yeah.
we'll see if Manitoba
Yeah.
can beat Ontario's first bull.
And then the
with
problem
the-
here, if they catch the jack into the ditch, then that's the end over there.
Pretty
So,
much.
so that's also a good strategy, but hard to do.
But we have seen a couple bulls stop on the lip for Anderson, so
Yeah,
you
there
know
have been.
anything's possible if the jack does go in the ditch. Which
Okay, let's see.
Manitoba's not that far off, honestly. And the bull is
It's
still in
still-
motion, so and it flopped against the bias, so
Oh,
we
good.
do have a solid bull behind the jack.
Right,
This
yeah,
end.
yeah.
So Jeff looks to add more weight from his first one.
Oh, no.
As he just nicked
He
his
looked like he
front
had
one.
good weight if he hadn't hit his bull. This looks like another good one.
Great bull by Manitoba here if it stops. And the bull did stop.
Yeah.
So it is a jack high bull. So midway through then, before the Manitoba's last lead bull, it is 13-10 for Manitoba over Ontario A.
Ooh.
Coming very close to the time limit though. So pairs do play 18N if they can get it in the 2 hour and 15-minute time limit. So there's a couple more score updates as they play the last couple ends. Men's pairs on BC A is against Nova Scotia, 19-13, playing 18. So
There's a good women's game going on here.
it looks like a lot of good games
Yeah,
from
from
here.
what I
so
see, Ontario A 14, Alberta B 14, playing the 18th end. Or they stopped. Oh, they finished. Okay, so I don't know who won there. Oh, I can't see for the trees.
pairs are, yeah. So, and then the last game that's in progress right now, it's Alberta B against BCB, and it's 19-11, playing just delivery of the last jack of the game. So, Alberta B is up 19-11. As I said, it's 19-13 for BCA against Nova Scotia. And your featured match is 13-10 for Manitoba against Ontario A. As it looks like Manitoba drew their third shot into the head, so Manitoba holds at least 3 in the head.
Okay.
Possibly a 4 count. Trying to get past his lead's front bowls.
So Manitoba can just put one in there. I don't think it matters where they put it.
Looks like it's possibly gonna keep rolling in the spot it is.
Yeah,
And
oh.
it just on the lip, so.
All right, so what's David gonna do here? He's gotta be in there. Gotta find some bowls there.
Looks like a good line.
No. Gonna
Manitoba throwing its last bowl of the 16th end.
yeah, I think.
Bit wide, bit light.
Yeah, but might be close enough to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Possibly a 5 count for Manitoba. But they would like to measure the one on the ditch, so.
Yeah, and scoring a big count like that at the very end of the game is hard. If you're going to lose a big count, lose it early
So it
so
was.
that you can catch up.
Yeah. So that was a
5-ender?
5.
5.
So that would be 18 to 18-10 after 16 for Manitoba over Ontario A.
So now they get this one more end in, then throw the jack. They might make it.
That was one of the quicker ends of the match, so they are trying hard to get all 18
Yeah.
in. So we will see if they do get it.
Yeah, I guess it'll be important if Ontario can score here. And then it's been known before that you can lose a big end on the last end.
Yes.
So,
So 8 to go with 6 bowls. So
yeah, so get this end done and then hurry up and throw the jack.
yes, exactly. So Ontario has 12 bowls left, looking to get the gap closer. As Manitoba looks to protect their lead. So score update, it looks like BC beat Nova Scotia. And the last couple bowls of the Alberta B and BC B game are underway.
And really important at this point, you know, for the skips to stay positive and just try to plug away at it. Easier said than done, but
Some great couple bowls from Jeff and Randy.
oh, all right. At this point, they want to try to get a grouping of bowls so they can score multiple. So having it as a back bowl normally would be good, but right now you just need a grouping of any kind. And all Manitoba has to do is just match bowl for bowl, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So Ontario's looking for at least a 3 count here to possibly go for the 1 point win.
Oh, that's right. It's only 6 points too,
6
so
points,
they have to score.
They
That's
were down to
correct.
their 12 bowls
correct.
before this end. So
Correct.
Ontario holds one here.
Come on.
And it looks
the
like
way,
possibly a second. Oh, just short of the Manitoba bowl.
Might
so
be useful though.
it is.
Yeah, that's what happens too when you're playing singles, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden you realize, oh shoot, I can't win this game because I have only 4 more bowls left on the last end or whatever.
Yes.
Like if you're
Playing pairs or fours, yeah.
Yeah.
So Manitoba skip delivering their first bowl. As Ontario's down to 3 last bowls this end. Holding shot. Manitoba doesn't look that far off, but decided to go back to the back and got the tee.
I
So
don't think they need to do that. I don't know if they're meaning to do that. They just because you can't try to kill it. You've got to score multiple points here.
yes.
So come on.
So bit short on that bowl, but very useful.
This might do it. There you go. That's a beautiful bowl. Yep. But still.
Looking a bit more positive on Dave's side, just sneaking in to get a second shot. So Manitoba, last bowl was a toucher.
So
As
interestingly enough, if you got rid of that Manitoba bowl right now, you could be sitting 1, 2, 3, 4.
Four if
So-
it sticks, so
Yeah,
it'd be very useful.
Yeah, let's see what happens
But
here.
we will see. So
David should come take a look.
possibly Dave will go for the bowl as
Yeah.
Ontario needs to score this end.
Yep. Yeah.
Just gotta pick it clean
Right.
without it
Moving
grabbing
the jack.
jack. So
Yeah.
Manitoba's in pretty good position.
I'm a little
right
surprised
now.
David didn't come down and take a look. I guess he's worried about the time.
Inside the bowl it looks,
He
but a
needed-
little narrow than I thought. So he snuck inside for one.
But that's
So-
not enough.
That's not enough. So
Yeah.
Ontario
6.
looks to close the gap.
Hurry up. So they can't win the game, but all the points count at the end of the round robin. So Annie's got the bowl
Yes.
jack off, so they're good.
So we do have the last end
So
played.
imagine they played what, 4 ends in
15 minutes, I
N-
think,
no,
or
a li-
25 minutes.
yeah,
sorry.
a little bit longer than that. Yeah.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty good pace.
Yeah.
Yep, some score updates on Alberta B beat BCB, I believe 20-11. But if you're looking,
BCB, we had that
You s-
problem. BCB, is it Bowls Canada or is it BCB?
yeah, a lot of provinces here, everyone except PEI and Newfoundland. So some great showing by all the provinces here. But if you guys would like to check out the results, you can check WW Bowls Canada under the 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships. And this week it's the pairs and fours.
And we have 2 more games today and 3 more games tomorrow, so lots of bowling still left.
Yes. So if
And
you
a lot of changes can happen.
So if you guys are looking for the next TV game, it will most likely be the Ontario B team versus Saskatchewan A at 12:30 Pacific time, which will be 3:30 Eastern time for those on the Eastern Canada. So some great bowls by Jeff so far. 1 short and 1 on the jack, with Manitoba's 2 in the back. So Jeff looks to draw his second shot.
The horn hasn't gone yet, I guess. That's all in the hands of the umpire. Oh, still maybe
4
4
more
minutes
minutes,
left.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got Ontario A versus Saskatchewan A, and they're 18-7. And they're playing 14. Oh, they're on their last end anyway.
So a great first bowl by Dave Anderson there, just drawing the second shot. So Ontario holds 2 in the head. And it looks like Manitoba's
Gonna
just
have
drew a
something to say
shot,
about
so
it, yeah.
Great bowl by Manitoba there. So Anderson looks to possibly trail the Jack a little bit to his 2 catchers there. And he doesn't look that far off, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a bit
Good
light
effort.
and narrow. Great bull, though, for what they're working with. So Manitoba's trying to get a second one in there, so Anderson can't.
There goes the
Well.
horn.
So Manitoba just wicking off the 3rd Ontario bull in the head, so see if Anderson can push the bull out. Or a little Jack movement won't hurt them.
All right. Yeah, so
A little light. So Manitoba has 1, possibly drawing for 2.
yeah, so even the even the Ontario fours, both sets are getting their ends in.
Yes.
They tend to be playing very slowly.
So I believe it was 1 to Manitoba there. So your TV game was 19-10 for Manitoba against Ontario A.
And they kept it close until that 5-ender there. And that made
The
the
one end
difference.
just killed
Does
them.
the one end in this case, yes.
But great bowls by both of them, and
All
that's
right.
your round 4 game of the men's pairs against Manitoba, against Ontario A. From the 2023 Canadian Lawn Bowling Championships at the Wanafuka Center. This was Ozzie Chambers calling the game. He said, Laura. And we will have the next game up at 12:30 Pacific time and 3:30 Eastern time. So thank you for tuning in.
I think it was 1:30 Eastern. No, how'd you think you said it wrong?
It's 12:30 Pacific time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eastern. Pacific time with 3:30 Eastern time.
You got
So
it. Okay.
you guys
All right,
take care.
guys. Take